The ice-covered moon of Europa wasn't the most exciting posting in the solar system, but on this particular day, it became the most important location in human history. Inside the Europa Deep Space Monitoring Station, Jack Harris was finishing his regular 12-hour shift. His eyes were heavy from staring at the monitoring screens, and his third cup of coffee had gone cold. The station's quiet hum and soft blue lighting usually made staying awake a challenge, but that was about to change. At exactly 3:47 Earth Standard Time, every sensor in the station lit up like a Christmas tree. What in the world? Jack straightened in his chair, suddenly wide awake. His screen showed energy readings unlike anything he'd seen in his 15 years of service. The patterns were completely foreign, not the usual asteroid signatures or solar wind disturbances he was used to monitoring. Following protocol, he double-checked his equipment. Everything was working perfectly. This was real. His fingers flew across the holographic keyboard as he began recording the data. The energy signature was massive, spanning an area larger than Earth's moon. But what really caught his attention was the pattern. It was too regular, too structured to be natural. "Control, this is Europa Station," Jack called through the comm system. "I'm picking up something you need to see." Within minutes, the station's small crew of 5 had gathered around his monitoring station. Dr. Emily White, the station's chief scientist, leaned in close to study the readings, her gray eyes widening. "These patterns," she whispered, "they're modulated. This isn't random space noise, it's a signal." The room fell silent. Everyone understood what that meant. They were looking at the first confirmed evidence of intelligent alien life. Captain James Roberts of the Earth Defense Fleet was enjoying a rare quiet moment in his quarters when the priority alert came through. The message was brief but clear. Unknown signals detected. Possible extraterrestrial origin. Immediate response required. Within an hour, Earth's most advanced ships were moving into position. The EDF Horizon, humanity's flagship, led the response fleet. On its bridge, Captain Roberts studied the incoming data with his command staff. "The signals are getting stronger," his science officer reported. "And sir, they're changing. Our computers are detecting patterns similar to known distress calls." Roberts nodded slowly. "Can we decode them?" "Working on it, sir. The base structure seems similar to mathematical sequences. Dr. White from Europa Station is sending us her preliminary analysis." Hours passed as the best minds in the fleet worked on the signals. Then, at last, they had their breakthrough. "Captain," the excitement in his communication officer's voice was unmistakable. "We've done it. The signals, they're not just random distress calls. They're a full data packet. Sir, it's a refugee fleet." The decoded messages painted an incredible picture. A fleet of 300 massive ships, carrying 2 million civilians from something called the Stellar Alliance, had become trapped in what they described as a quantum storm. Their advanced drives had malfunctioned, leaving them stranded in a dangerous region of space just beyond Pluto's orbit. "Show me," Roberts ordered. The main view screen came to life, displaying an enhanced image of the distant sector. At first, it looked like a cluster of stars. But as the computer processed the data, the image resolved into something else. Hundreds of massive ships, each one larger than anything humanity had ever built, caught in a swirling vortex of energy. "Their ships are failing," the science officer reported grimly. "These readings suggest their life support systems are operating on emergency power. Whatever that storm is, it's draining their energy." Roberts stood from his command chair, his decision already made. Throughout human history, there had been one absolute rule of seafaring that had carried into the space age. You never ignored a distress call. "Send word to Earth Command," he ordered. "Tell them we found a fleet of alien ships in distress. 2 million lives at stake. Request immediate authorization for first contact and rescue operations." As the message was sent, Roberts looked again at the swirling energy storm on his screen. Humanity had never attempted anything like this before. They had never even officially met an alien species, but today that would change. Today, humanity would either prove itself as a worthy member of a larger galactic community or fail spectacularly in front of an advanced civilization. The captain smiled slightly. If there was one thing humans were good at, it was beating impossible odds. All hands, he announced shipwide. Prepare for rescue operations. We're about to make history. Commander Anna Baker stood at the helm of the rescue ship EDF Dauntless, watching as her fleet of 20 Earth ships moved closer to the stranded alien vessels. Years of training had prepared her for many situations, but nothing quite like this. All ships in position, her navigation officer reported. We're holding at safe distance from the quantum storm's edge. Anna nodded. Begin broadcast of the first contact message on all frequencies. The message they sent was simple, repeated in mathematical sequences that the aliens had used in their distress call. This is the Earth Defense Fleet. We are here to help. Please respond. For several tense minutes, nothing happened. Then the main screen lit up with a response. The image showed a tall, elegant being with silvery skin and large eyes. Despite the alien appearance, the worry on its face was unmistakably familiar. Earth vessels, the alien spoke in surprisingly good English, their ship's computers having decoded their language from the human broadcasts. I am High Commander Val of the Stellar Alliance Refugee Fleet. Your offer of assistance is unexpected. Anna stepped forward. Commander Val, we detected your distress signal and came to help. Our ships are ready to assist in any way we can. The alien commander's expression changed to something between surprise and doubt. You are very kind, but I must ask, what level of spacefaring civilization are you? Do you possess quantum dry technology? No, Anna answered honestly. We use fusion drives, but we have some ideas that might help. A murmur of concern passed through the alien bridge crew. High Commander Val's face showed clear worry now. You use fusion drives, but that's primitive technology. How do you expect to help us with such basic tools? Anna kept her voice calm and professional, though she felt a spark of annoyance at their dismissal. Sometimes old tools can solve new problems. Would you allow our engineering team to study your situation more closely? After a moment of hesitation, Val agreed. Within an hour, human engineering teams were carefully crossing to the nearest alien ship through protected corridors of space. Among them was Chief Engineer Marcus Reed, who carried a portable scanner and wore an expression of pure excitement. The inside of the alien ship was breathtaking. Curved corridors glowed with soft light, and every surface seemed to shimmer with advanced technology. But Marcus noticed something else too. The fear in the eyes of the alien civilians they passed. Their main power systems are almost dead, Marcus reported back to Commander Anna. The quantum storm is draining their energy faster than they can generate it. At this rate, they have maybe 3 days before life support fails. The alien engineer working with Marcus, who called himself Root, nodded grimly. Our quantum cores are useless in this storm. It's like the storm feeds on their energy. He paused, looking at the humans' primitive equipment with new interest. But your fusion drives, they seem unaffected. Marcus grinned. That's because they're too simple for the storm to disrupt. Sometimes being primitive has its advantages. Back on the Dauntless, Commander Anna listened to reports from all teams. The situation was worse than they'd thought. The alien fleet carried families from dozens of worlds, fleeing from some disaster they wouldn't discuss. Many of them were children, and the failing life support systems would hit them first. We need to act fast, she told her crew. Begin evacuating the most vulnerable to our ships. We can at least keep them safe while we work on a solution. The evacuation revealed another challenge. Cultural differences. Many aliens were reluctant to board the primitive human vessels. But as the first groups were safely transferred and treated with respect and care, others began to follow. A small alien child, no more than what would be 6 in human years, stopped before boarding and looked up at Anna. "Your ships look different," the child said in the now translated speech. "But they feel safe." Anna smiled. Sometimes the simplest things are the most reliable. As she watched humans and aliens working together, Anna knew they had passed the first test of contact. But the harder challenge still lay ahead, figuring out how to save 2 million lives with technology the aliens considered outdated. Looking at the swirling quantum storm beyond her ship's windows, she felt both pride and worry. Humanity had earned the aliens' trust. Now they had to prove they deserved it. Time was running out. In the main conference room of the EDF Dauntless, humans and aliens gathered around a holographic display of the quantum storm. The swirling mass of energy had grown larger in the past 24 hours, and its effects were getting worse. "The first ship just lost main power," Root announced, his silvery fingers moving across the display. "They're on emergency systems now. 48 hours at most before total failure." Commander Anna looked at the faces around the table, both human and alien. Fear showed in all of them, but she also saw determination. "Show us the storm's pattern again," she requested. Marcus stepped forward, his engineering uniform wrinkled from hours of non-stop work. "The storm feeds on complex energy patterns. The more advanced the technology, the more it disrupts it. That's why the alien quantum drives are useless here." High Commander Val, who had joined them from the alien flagship, spoke up. "Our best minds have failed to find a solution. Without quantum drive power, we cannot push through the storm, and we cannot simply wait it out. These storms can last for years." The room fell silent. The enormity of their task weighed heavily on everyone. They needed to move 300 massive ships carrying 2 million people through a destructive energy storm that specifically targeted advanced technology. Suddenly, Marcus snapped his fingers. "What if we're thinking about this all wrong?" He moved to the holographic display. "We keep trying to figure out how to protect the quantum drives from the storm. But what if instead we use technology so simple the storm can't affect it?" Root finished, his large eyes widening with understanding. Marcus nodded excitedly. "Exactly. Look at our fusion drives. They're still working perfectly because they're too basic for the storm to disrupt. What if we could use that?" High Commander Val looked skeptical. "Your fusion drives aren't nearly powerful enough to move our ships." "Not directly," Marcus agreed. "But what if we created a channel through the storm? Like a tunnel of calm space." He adjusted the display, showing a new simulation. Human ships, positioned in a long line, their fusion drives creating a stable energy field between them. The field wasn't strong enough to fight the storm, but it was simple enough to resist its effects. "If we position enough Earth ships in the right pattern," Marcus explained, "we could create a safe corridor. The alien ships could pass through it using minimal power, just enough for basic movement." Root studied the simulation carefully. "It could work, but you would need hundreds of ships, and they would have to hold position perfectly in the middle of a quantum storm." Commander Anna straightened in her chair. "How many ships exactly?" Marcus ran the calculations. "At least 200 Earth ships, maybe more. Each one would need to maintain precise position while running their fusion drives at maximum power. That's almost half of Earth's entire space fleet," Anna's first officer pointed out. "And if the pattern breaks while alien ships are in the corridor, they would be torn apart by the storm," Root finished grimly. High Commander Val stood up, their tall frame casting a shadow over the table. "You would risk half your planet's defense fleet to save us, even knowing the dangers." Anna met the alien leader's gaze steadily. "That's what we do. We help people in trouble, no matter the risk." The room erupted in discussion. More simulations were run. Calculations were checked and rechecked. The risks were enormous, but the alternative was watching 2 million people die slowly in the cold of space. Finally, Anna called Earth Command. She explained the plan, knowing how crazy it must sound. Using primitive technology to save an advanced alien civilization, risking half of Earth's fleet in the process. The response came back an hour later. "Plan approved." Pacific Fleet mobilizing. Good luck, Commander. As the meeting ended and everyone rushed to prepare, Root pulled Marcus aside. Earlier, I thought your technology was primitive, the alien engineer admitted. But now I see that sometimes the simplest solutions are the most elegant. Marcus smiled tiredly. Just wait until you see what else we can do with our primitive technology. Outside the ship's windows, the quantum storm continued to grow. They had less than 48 hours to gather Earth's fleet and attempt the most ambitious rescue mission in human history. The real challenge was about to begin. The next 36 hours were a blur of activity. Earth ships arrived in groups, their fusion drives burning bright against the darkness of space. 250 vessels in total, representing the largest fleet movement in human history. Marcus watched from his workstation as another group of ships took their positions. Next to him, Root was making final adjustments to their hybrid control system, a combination of human and alien technology that would help coordinate the massive rescue effort. The first test run is ready, Root announced, his silver fingers dancing across the holographic controls. 10 Earth ships, creating a small-scale corridor. Commander Anna's voice came through the speakers. All test ships report ready. Begin power-up sequence. Marcus held his breath as the test ships fired their fusion drives at full power. On his screen, energy readings spiked. The ships adjusted their positions with careful precision, forming a line through the edge of the quantum storm. Energy corridor is forming, Root reported. Storm interference at minimal levels. They watched as a small probe entered the corridor. It carried similar quantum technology to the alien ships, but at a much smaller scale. If this worked, they could try it with a real ship. The probe moved forward smoothly. Around it, the quantum storm raged, but inside the corridor created by the fusion drives, space remained calm. The probe reached the other side undamaged. The control room erupted in cheers. Humans and aliens alike celebrated the small but crucial victory. But Marcus wasn't cheering yet. He was already thinking about the next challenge. We need to make the corridor bigger, he said to Root. Much bigger. And it needs to be stable enough to hold while massive ships pass through. Root nodded. We'll need to adjust the power output of each ship perfectly. Too much power could make the storm worse, too little, and the corridor collapses. They worked through the night, testing different power levels and ship positions. The alien engineer's advanced knowledge combined with Marcus's practical experience created solutions neither could have developed alone. By morning, they had their answer. A triple-layer corridor. The outer layer of Earth ships would create a basic shield. The middle layer would stabilize the space inside, and the inner layer would provide direct guidance for the passing alien vessels. It's ready, Marcus told Commander Anna during the final briefing. But there's one catch. We'll need humans on the alien ships to help coordinate their movement through the corridor. Anna understood what that meant. They would be putting human crews directly on the ships most at risk. If anything went wrong, they would be the first to face the storm's fury. I'll go on the first ship, Marcus volunteered. Before anyone could object, he continued, I need to be there to handle any problems with the corridor. We won't get a second chance at this. Root stood up. I will go with him. Together, we can monitor both human and alien systems. Commander Anna looked at them both, then nodded. Approved. But you'll have emergency transport units with you. If anything goes wrong, you get out immediately. That's an order. The next few hours were spent preparing the fleet. Earth ships moved into their final positions, creating a massive pattern in space. From a distance, it looked like a giant tunnel of light cutting through the darkness of the storm. In the control room of the first alien ship to attempt the crossing, Marcus ran final checks on his equipment. Root worked beside him, both of them surrounded by nervous alien crew members. All ships report ready. Anna's voice came through their comms. Corridor power level stable. Are you ready to begin? Marcus looked at Root, who gave the alien equivalent of a thumbs up. We're ready, Marcus replied. Beginning approach to corridor entrance. Through the ship's windows, Marcus could see the tunnel of calm space created by hundreds of human ships. Each one was pushing its fusion drive to the limit, their crews fighting to maintain perfect position against the storm's pull. "You know," Root said quietly as their ship moved toward the corridor, "when this works, it will change how the Stellar Alliance views primitive technology forever." Marcus smiled, his hand steady on the controls. "When this works, it will change how we all view what's possible." The massive alien ship edged forward, its bow entering the corridor of human-made calm. The real test was about to begin. The first alien ship entered the corridor of calm space like a whale gliding into a narrow channel. Marcus and Root watched their readings carefully as the massive vessel pushed forward, guided by the light of hundreds of human fusion drives. "First checkpoint reached," Marcus reported, his voice steady despite the tension. "Corridor stability at 95%. From the Dauntless, Commander Anna monitored the operation. 250 Earth ships held their positions, their fusion drives creating a safe path through the quantum storm. The strain on their engines was enormous, but they held firm. Second checkpoint," Root announced. "No disruption to ship systems. The corridor is working." The alien crew members around them began to relax slightly. Their ship, carrying 10,000 refugees, was halfway through the corridor. Beyond the human-made tunnel, the quantum storm raged with increasing fury, as if angry at being denied its prey. "First ship has cleared the corridor." Anna's voice came through with obvious relief. "Begin moving the second ship into position." Over the next 6 hours, they guided 5 more massive alien vessels through the corridor. Each successful crossing built their confidence. The rescue plan was working better than anyone had dared to hope. But the quantum storm wasn't finished with them yet. "Commander," the warning came from one of the Earth ships on the outer edge of the corridor. "Storm intensity is increasing. Power readings are off the charts." Anna watched in horror as the storm began to pulse with new energy. The quantum disturbances were growing stronger, pushing against their carefully maintained corridor. "All ships, increase power to fusion drives," she ordered. "We need to hold the corridor." Inside the 7th alien ship, halfway through the passage, Marcus and Root fought to maintain their course. The corridor was wavering around them, the calm space beginning to ripple with dangerous energy. "The storm's trying to break through," Root said, his silver skin pale with worry. "If the corridor collapses with us inside." Marcus gripped his controls tighter. "It won't. Trust our people." Outside, the Earth ships were fighting against the storm's increased power. Their fusion drives blazed brighter than ever, the simple but sturdy technology standing firm against the quantum chaos. "Hull stress increasing," reported an alien crew member. "We're getting energy bleed-through from the storm." Marcus looked at their position. They were still 10 minutes from clearing the corridor. 10 minutes they might not have. Then he noticed something. "The storm's not random," he said suddenly. "Look at the pattern." Root studied the readings. "It's pulsing, like waves." "Commander Anna," Marcus called through the comm. "The storm is creating a pattern. If we time the fusion drive pulses to counter it." "Already on it," Anna replied. "All ships, prepare to modulate fusion drive output on my mark." 250 human ships adjusted their power output, creating a counter-rhythm to the storm's pulses. The corridor stabilized, though the strain on the ships and their crews increased dramatically. 8 minutes to clear," Root announced, watching their progress. The minutes felt like hours. Every human ship was now operating beyond safe limits, their fusion drives pushing out maximum power in carefully timed pulses. Engineers throughout the fleet worked desperately to prevent their engines from overloading. 5 minutes. Warning alarms blared across the fleet as systems approached their breaking points. 3 minutes. Several Earth ships reported engine troubles, but none abandoned their positions. 1 minute. The storm threw one final surge of power against them, as if making a last attempt to break their line. The corridor wavered but held. "We're clear," Root's announcement was met with cheers from both human and alien crews. Marcus slumped in his chair, exhausted but smiling. They had proven that their primitive technology, combined with human determination, could overcome even the most advanced natural phenomena. Commander Anna's voice came through, tired but proud. "Good work, everyone. But let's save the celebrations. We still have 292 ships to move." Outside the corridor, the quantum storm continued to rage. But now, they knew they could beat it. Ship by ship, they would save everyone, using nothing more than human ingenuity and simple fusion drives. The rescue mission was far from over, but they had passed their greatest test. Humanity had shown what it could do. 48 hours into the rescue operation, exhaustion began to take its toll. The human fleet had successfully guided 100 alien ships to safety, but the constant strain was wearing down both crews and machines. Engine failure on the Victoria. The alert cut through the tired silence on the Dauntless's bridge. Commander Anna watched in horror as one of her ships dropped out of formation, creating a dangerous gap in the corridor's outer wall. "Rear out power from secondary ships," she ordered. "Close that gap." But before the other ships could adjust, a second alert sounded. "Commander, we have a problem." Marcus's voice came through, tense and urgent. "The next ship in line is carrying 3,000 children. Their life support is critical. We can't wait to move them." Anna's mind raced. They needed every ship to maintain the corridor, but the Victoria's position was crucial for the next section. The alien ship carrying the children had to move now, or they'd lose them. "Root," she called. "Can the alien ship generate any power at all?" "Minimal emergency systems only," the alien engineer responded. "Enough for 10 minutes of life support. No more." Anna made her decision. "All ships in Section 3, prepare for emergency power redirect. We're going to strengthen the corridor with everything we've got." "Commander," her chief engineer protested, "that could burn out half our engines." "Better than losing 3,000 children," Anna replied firmly. "Execute power redirect now." Throughout the human fleet, crews pushed their fusion drives beyond all safety limits. The corridor glowed brighter than ever, but warning alarms screamed on every ship as systems approached critical levels. Marcus and Root guided the alien ship forward, acutely aware of the precious cargo they carried. Through the ship's windows, they could see the human vessels straining to maintain the corridor, their drives blazing like small suns. "Hull breach on Deck 7. An alien crew member shouted. The quantum storm had found a weak point, energy beginning to tear into the ship's outer layers. "Seal that section," Root ordered. "Redirect emergency power to shields." Marcus watched their progress. They were halfway through the corridor, but the situation was deteriorating rapidly. More human ships were reporting critical engine status. Then it happened. 3 human ships lost engine power simultaneously. A massive gap appeared in the corridor's protective wall, and the quantum storm rushed in. "Brace for impact," Marcus shouted. The storm's energy slammed into the alien ship like a tidal wave. Alarms blared throughout the vessel as systems began to fail. Commander Anna watched in horror as the massive ship began to break up, but she wasn't done fighting yet. "All remaining ships, Emergency Protocol Omega," she ordered. "Direct all power to the corridor, including life support and artificial gravity. Give them everything we've got." Across the human fleet, crews worked in darkness and zero gravity, diverting every scrap of power to their fusion drives. The corridor blazed brighter than ever before, pushing back against the storm. Inside the alien ship, Marcus and Root fought to maintain control. "The children's section is still intact," Root reported, "but we're losing structural integrity." "We're not losing anyone today," Marcus growled, his hands flying over the controls. "Commander, we need a push." Anna's response was immediate. "All ships, fire emergency thrusters on my mark." 3, 2, 1 mark. 200 human ships fired their thrusters in perfect unison. The coordinated burst of power shot through the corridor like a wave, pushing the damaged alien ship forward. With a final groan of protesting metal, the ship cleared the corridor. Emergency repair drones swarmed around it immediately, sealing breaches and stabilizing systems. In the aftermath, Marcus and Root made their way to the children's section. 3,000 young aliens looked back at them, scared but alive. A small child floated forward in the zero gravity. "You saved us," she said simply. Commander Anna's voice came through the comm, tired but relieved. "Status report. Children's ship secured," Marcus replied. "No casualties. But Commander, we've lost 27 ships. The corridor is down." There was a moment of silence. Then Anna spoke again, her voice firm with determination. "Then we'll rebuild it. We didn't come this far to stop now. Begin emergency repairs and prepare for the next wave. We're finishing this mission." The quantum storm still raged outside, but they had proven something important. When protecting innocent lives, humanity would never give up, no matter the cost. 1 week after the crisis with the children's ship, the last alien vessel cleared the quantum storm corridor. Commander Anna stood on the bridge of the Dauntless, watching as the massive rescue fleet regrouped in safe space. The final count told the story of their mission. 300 alien ships saved, carrying 2 million refugees. The cost had been high. 35 Earth ships lost, though thankfully with no loss of life thanks to emergency teleporters. Over half the remaining human fleet needed major repairs. But they had done it, against all odds, using primitive technology and raw determination. Humanity had succeeded. "Commander," her communications officer called. "High Commander Val is requesting permission to come aboard. They say the Stellar Alliance Council is with them." Anna straightened her uniform. "Permission granted. Prepare the main conference room." Marcus and Root were already there when the alien delegation arrived. The council members were impressive figures, their silvery skin and formal robes gleaming under the ship's lights. But it was the way they looked at the humans that was different. Gone was the earlier condescension, replaced by genuine respect. High Commander Val stepped forward. "Commander Anna, Engineer Marcus, on behalf of the Stellar Alliance, we come to offer our deepest gratitude and our most sincere apology." The lead council member spoke next. "We judged your civilization by the age of your technology. We were wrong. In all our years of space travel, we have never seen such courage, such innovation, such willingness to risk everything to help strangers." Anna smiled. "That's what humans do. We help people in need. It's that simple." "Simple," Root repeated, sharing a knowing look with Marcus. "Like fusion drives." The room filled with gentle laughter, breaking the formal atmosphere. The council member continued. "We would like to offer Earth immediate membership in the Stellar Alliance. Moreover, we wish to establish a permanent base in your solar system, if you would permit it." "A base?" Anna asked. "Yes," Val explained. "Our refugee fleet needs time to repair, and your system has plenty of room. More importantly, we believe our peoples have much to learn from each other. You have shown us that new is not always better, and simple solutions can solve complex problems." Marcus grinned. "Does this mean we get to study some of your quantum drive technology?" "Better," Root answered. "We propose a joint engineering program. Combining human innovation with our advanced technology could lead to developments neither of our peoples could achieve alone." The council member nodded. "The rescue corridor you created, using fusion drives to stabilize quantum space, it should have been impossible, yet you did it. Imagine what we could accomplish together." Over the next few hours, humans and aliens planned their future cooperation. Earth would gain access to advanced technology, while the Stellar Alliance would learn from humanity's unique approach to problem-solving. Later, standing at the observation window, Anna watched as Earth ships and alien vessels worked together to establish a temporary base near Jupiter. Marcus joined her, looking tired but happy. "Hard to believe it all started with a distress signal," he said, "and ended with humanity joining a galactic civilization," Anna added. though I suspect some of them still think we're a bit primitive. Let them, Marcus laughed. Being underestimated just makes proving them wrong more fun. Through the window, they could see Root directing a mixed team of human and alien engineers, already working on combining their technologies. The quantum storm that had nearly claimed so many lives was now just a distant disturbance on their sensors. You know what this means? Anna asked. Humanity's not alone anymore. We're part of something bigger. Marcus nodded. But we got here our own way. Not by having the most advanced technology, but by having the courage to use what we had to help others. As if to emphasize his point, a group of alien children floated past the window in a tour pod, waving excitedly at the humans who had saved them. Their simple gesture said more than any formal treaty could. Earth had passed its first major test as a spacefaring civilization, not through power or advanced technology, but through determination, innovation, and the simple human drive to help others in need. The future was looking brighter than ever.